Hi everybody, I'm Christian and this is Lazy Devs. Ah yes, a new channel. And we are doing our Pico-8 hero tutorial thing. As you can see, new channel, new beard. I am a completely different person because, man, there's been a big break again. I am not being really good at following it through this tutorial, but I was really trying to prepare this channel, and that kind of took some while. I needed a quiet week or so, and now we can do this thing. Okay, so where were we last? I had to actually go through the last episodes to just remember what we were working on, and a lot of things changed. As you can tell, there is an F. Wait a minute, I don't have a cursor here? I don't have a cursor here. But there's an F. It's a Pico-8 0.1.11F now. So Pico will look differently now. So if you load our hero, and you know, some of you who started this tutorial later on, you were like, whatever, it always looked like this. But for me, it looks differently now. So you can see there's the 0 up here. And what does this do? Well, why is there a 0 here? Well, now Pico-8 has tabs. So it's kind of like tabs in a browser. And tabs are something that I find very confusing at first, especially if compared to tabs in a browser, because in a tab in a browser, you can open up a tab and you can open a different website in a tab, right? So you can see like two websites kind of like at the same time. Tabs in programming languages or programming like development environments, IDEs. They work a little bit differently. Tabs in those environments show the same program, but a different part of the same program. So you can open up, kind of like put different parts of the program in different tabs. And this is actually very useful for us because, as you remember, like this is a very long program. There's a lot of stuff in here, and sometimes we're like, oh man, I just need to go to, you know, whatever, my draw function, because we're changing a lot of stuff in the draw function. Now with the tabs, we can actually put those special things in their own tabs, and so we can just switch between the tabs if we want to jump to a specific place where we often are. And that's kind of like really nice. I'm not really sure how I want to organize my tabs for this specific program. I haven't actually thought about this a lot. There's a lot of different things here that maybe deserve their own stuff. Something that we, for example, what we did last time around, we had like this separation here where it's like juicy stuff, and I'm already tempted. Let's just do it just to see how it feels. I'm gonna create a new tab. I'm just gonna click on the plus. Now there is a tab, and when it's empty, it's gonna get removed. Okay, so I'm gonna say the thing that's called juicy stuff. I'm gonna just copy, select this. I'm gonna cut this out. That wasn't cut. It's the keyboard again, guys. Oh, this was great. I hope I didn't delete it. Please don't delete it. No, it's not. Okay. Hey, once more. Oh man, I'm such a programmer. Okay. I cut this out. I'm gonna create this new tab. I'm gonna paste this in. What is V? Okay, so this is going to be juicy stuff. So this is the stuff that we're working on right now. The juice stuff goes in here. Now, the important stuff, it's in a different tab, but it's still part of the same program. It's basically kind of like a second piece of paper in a block, so to speak. And you can keep writing on the same, maybe that's not the right analogy here. But basically, you know, these both tabs belong to the same program, and both, like at the end when you execute it, it kind of like takes all the tabs and puts them together in one tab, so to speak. So whatever you type in here also applies to this thing. It's just like a logical separation, or not a logical separation. It's kind of like a organizational tool for you to be able to quickly jump to different parts of your code. Okay, so I'm gonna save this just in case. Yeah. So again, oh man, I'm really out of practice. But I wanted to do something very simple today. I think that's probably like the best thing to start after such a long hiatus. And so we're still working on a juiciness, which again, as a reminder, is kind of like making the game feel alive and very lively and doing things. And one of the easiest ways to do things, like a basic stuff, is how to make text blink. So if you run this, you see this is like a static screen. Nothing happens here. It's just like bleh. everything, no pixel changes. And generally, when you make games, when you make juicy stuff, we want things move. We want to change pixels on the screen. Like that's kind of like a very fundamental way of thinking about this. Changing pixels, changing things on the screen, right? And so one easy way to do this, for example, how about we make the green text that we have here, the press X to start. How about we make this blink? That seems to me like a very easy way to think. And then there's like this cool thing when you press X, like it disappears immediately. But I would like to, for example, to flash faster when you press it. So it's like, and then it blinks faster. You kind of see it a lot in other games where you start a game. You know, when you press start and then it's like blinks faster for a second and then the screen fades out quickly. We're not going to do the fade out now, but we do want to do the blinking. And, you know, like, as with many things, there's like thousands of different ways to do the blinking. So I'm actually thinking about, so this is the juicy stuff, but variable definitions still go in it here, I guess. Right. So this is something that comes out quite often because people ask also, for example, how to make animations of sprites, for example, and stuff like that. And I think like animation of sprites is kind of like one level above. But for now, let us do the simple stuff, which is animated text. So if you look at here, let's say we want to just make it blink between, let's just two colors. Let's just make it blink between green, which is color 11, and 7 color 7. So what I would love to have is kind of like a let's go blink color, and this is going to be it's going to be 7, right? So this is going to be, let's make it 7 so we know what's up. So blink color is going to be I'm just thinking maybe it's going to green blink. Let's call it green blink or G blink, G underscore blink. Or blink G? Oh man, I'm so undecisive today. Let's go blink G. So it's blinking green. And then we're gonna go down to the draw function. See, now we could maybe create the tab for all the draw functions. That might be a good idea. Right, so here is where we draw our press X to start. And now we had that color 11 here, but we're going to just replace it with G blink. So, oops, there we go. So blink G. So now our only goal to make the text blink is just to make sure that the variable G is kind of changing all the time. And that will make the text blink. Kind of easy. Let's see if this worked. Oh man, I have this stupid, I have to update my stupid camera software. So now the text is white because we set the G blink to 7. To color 7. 7 is white, so that's good. So now the color of this text is controlled by the variable G blink. That's good. Okay, so the only thing left to do for us is to, wow, there's some weird stuff here. Is to make sure the color changes. I'm gonna go with a function, and I'm gonna do something like do blink. So it does the blinking, so to speak. I love it. Okay, do blink. Now I will go to the update function. Where's the update function? Where's the update function? Oh my god! No, there we go. I want to go to the overall update function, not just the update level, but just overall underscore update. Where's the underscore update? Overscore update? Did I say overscore update? Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna do a do blink because we're gonna blink whatever happens. We're not gonna discern between different types of blinks. Every time we're gonna do the blinking. Okay. Okay, so in the do blink functions, what are we going to do in the do blink functions? Well, a good idea is to simply count the number of frames that have passed. And once a certain number of frames has passed, you change to a different color. That's kind of like a very simple way to do this. So I'm gonna go like blink. I'm gonna create a new variable called blink frame. I'm gonna call it 0. I'm gonna assign 0 to it. And in the do blink function, I'm gonna go equals plus equals. Is it plus equals? I think it's plus equals 1. So we're gonna add 1 to blink frame. So we're counting the number of frames, and I'm gonna say if blink frame is, let's say, every 5 frames we're gonna blink. I'm not even sure if this will look good, but let's say we're gonna just try it. If 5 frames have passed, right, then we have to reset the blink frame. So it's kind of like a counter. It counts the frames, then we reset it to 0. That's the most important thing, because we want to constantly blink it. We don't want just to blink it once, but we constantly want to blink. And then if gblink equals what was it? 7, then else. And so if it's 7, gblink should be 11, because 11 is the green. And if it's not 11, if it's not 7, then it's gonna be 7. Right? I'm gonna do like a small explanation what we're doing here. Do the blinking. And this is like a prototype function, but just to let you know how things are progressing. So there's a problem. Oh, yeah, of course. It's we are assigning here. We're not comparing. Double equals is comparing. 1 equals is assigning. Now nothing happens. Was it blink G or G blink? Blink G. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So the variable is called differently. Why didn't you guys tell me when I made this mistake? See, now it's blinking. Oh, this is good. This is good. I like it. I like this a lot. I like it. Cool. So so now we see this thing blinking. It's a bit extreme. So we can change the speed. But I think it's a good way of doing this is also to have not just a blink frame, but also blink speed. And right now it was at 5, so I'm going to set it to 5. So we can, because we want to also change the speed of the blinking, right? Oops, I want to change the tab, and I click always on the mode here. Right, so instead of the 5 here, we're going to plug in the blink speed, and now we can also change the speed as we go. So if somebody presses X, we can bump up, like lower the blink speed. It's kind of like weird, because if the speed is lower, then the blinking gets faster. So it's kind of like not really speed. But yeah, now nothing changes because it's still the blink speed is still 5. But now if you go here and we make it even faster, it's going to be blinking really fast. Like this is now really like just flashing like crazy. Whereas if you make it to 10, that's really that's kind of like slow, I think. But I still don't quite like it. It's kind of like this very, like I could make it to 20, like very mellow, right? But now it's still like the step thing, like burp 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 burp. I don't like it. I want to maybe to go through like a gradient. That would be nice, right? But look, that means we have to go like, okay, maybe we start at black, or maybe at this dark gray, and then we're gonna turn it green, and then we can turn it this green, and maybe yellow, and then white, and then down to like maybe there's gonna be like a cycle through multiple colors. But that would of course require like a whole stupid, silly amount of if statements, right? That would be bad. We don't want this. We want to have some kind of like easy way of doing this. And there is an easy way of doing this. So first of all, we're going to use an array. We're going to use an array. Now, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do a local array. G. I'm going to call it gmap. So it's kind of like our GSAQ. That's our green blinking sequence. Oh man, the challenge with this keyboard, I tell you, it's good. Okay, so we now have to come up with some kind of cool sequence. I'm thinking maybe not using any of these colors. I'm just gonna go this, and this. So 3, 11, 10, 7. 3, 11, 10, 7. 3, 11, 10, 7. 3, 11, 10. 7, right? So it will loop through these colors. Okay. So this is gsec. But now we need an additional variable that not just saves what the current color is, but also which entry in the sequence we are currently at. Because of course, something that can happen is that that there is like one color is at multiple steps, like it is repeated in the sequence. That could happen. So the color itself is not clear enough for us to know where we are. So I'm gonna go blink underscore G underscore I or GI maybe. Let's go underscore I. So it is the index of the sequence that we're in right now. So we're gonna set the GI to 1. And now we have to rethink this. This was the old stuff. Let's put this aside because things are changing now. So every time we reach blink speed, we want to advance. First, when we advance our blink G, underscore I, we want to advance this by 1. We want to step to the next entry in our sequence, right? So like this. Now we want to check if we maybe reach the end of the sequence, because if we reach the end of the sequence, then we have to loop back to the front, right? So we're gonna go if blink GI 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. If this is greater than gsec, then the hashtag gsec, then the number of entries in our sequence, then let's make this like this so it's readable. Then what are we going to do now? What? Exactly. We're going to reset it to 1. So we're gonna, if we reach 5 here, if GI is 5, which means it's outside of bounds, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is no longer there. So if it's 5, we want to reset it to 1 again. Okay. Okay, and then finally now comes the money shot. Probably shouldn't say these things. Where it's like blink G equals. So now we're gonna actually change the color. It's gonna be G SAQ, square brackets, and blink GI. See, and all this complicated stuff doesn't belong here anymore. And this is kind of fascinating. I think this is also something I've seen in like a lot of chess AIs, people doing. Like whenever you have like a lot of if statements, you often can actually get around them with just using an array and just doing some array stuff. Arrays can be a bit confusing sometimes, but look how compact this is. This is just like, this is the actual logic of cycling through this. And we added a lot of complexity, like a lot of more complex behavior. Let's see if this works. It works. So now you can see it's cycling through. Now, of course, because we set our speed to very low, it cycles very slowly. So what I want to do now is make the speed higher. Oops, I didn't want to do that. No. 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 Oh man, this is too good. The challenge of using this different keyboard is something that constantly creates. So now we can see it blinking a little bit. Okay, maybe we're gonna tweak now the blinking sequence. Maybe we don't need the 10. No, that seems better. Okay, but I still maybe want to pulsate. Maybe want to go back to 11 now. This is good. See, now it's looking way better. I wanna make it a bit slower. Let's go with 7. That's good. I like it. Okay, so one more thing is I want to now do the thing where it's like if you press maybe 10. Let's go with 10. Yeah. Okay, see now the screen seems a lot more alive, even though it's just a bunch of text on a black screen. And when we add like a beautiful background, everything will be peachy. I'm still tweaking it. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna go with 8. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so what I want to do now is when somebody presses a button, I want it to blink faster, right? The problem is like if we press a button, we immediately switch to a different mode, right? So we want to kind of like maybe a bit of a countdown, right? So because this might happen a lot of times, I'm thinking maybe doing a separate game mode for it. Is that a good idea? No, it's probably not a good idea, right? You know what? Let's do just like one variable called start countdown. And we're gonna set it to 10 or something. Is that a good idea? So let's start at -1. And there's a good reason for this. Let me show real quick. So let's go to the update function of the countdown thing. Where is the update function? What? Why are my update function not all together? This is bad. Okay, there we go. Update start. So I'm gonna use this countdown function to actually also control how this start screen is also behaving. So if start countdown is smaller than 0, so if there is no countdown happening, then behave as you would. Otherwise, we're gonna do start countdown we're gonna count down, and if start countdown is smaller or equals 0 after we removed one, then and then we're gonna start a game. And then you're gonna also set start counter to -1, so we the next time we're gonna be in the screen, it's gonna be actually responsive. Do we understand what is happening here right now? So I'm using this start countdown variables as a kind of a countdown to wait a couple of frames. It's actually not finished yet. Let me just finish the programming here, and then we can look at what's happening. So let's do a start countdown equals 60. Seems like a good idea. Oh, yeah, 60. Yeah. And then let's put the blink speed, right? What was blink speed? Blink speed. There we go. We could change the blink speed, but there's also, I think, might be a better way to do this. Just do blink. We're just gonna do twice the amount of blinks. Let's try this like this. Okay, so again, just to reiterate what is happening. So we're using the start countdown variable as a kind of like a timer to wait 60 frames before we start the game. And usually start countdown starts at -1, and if it's -1, the screen behaves as it behaved before, basically. It waits for a button press and then something happens. If there is a countdown happening, if the start countdown is not negative but actually positive, it means we want to be counting down. So we count down and we wait for it to reach 0 or maybe drop below 0. And then when it drops below 0, then we actually, this is wrong. Then we actually start the game, and we also make sure that it's -1. So next time when we're in our start screen, it starts at -1. There is a thing, we do the do blink when we're counting down, because we're already doing a do blink on the update function above, on the main update function, and so we're going to do like twice the do blink functions, which will speed up our blinking. And also, like here, when we press the button, instead of starting the game immediately, we just reset the countdown. So now, from now on, the next frame, we're going to actually start counting down, and we're not going to actually wait for the button responses anymore. We're not going to listen to what you press after you pressed. So let's try to do this. It worked. It wasn't fast enough, so I'm gonna maybe do more do blinks. Like be really crazy. That worked better. Let's be even faster. It's maybe not the maybe I should even just change the speed. That one might be less text. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, but it doesn't really seem that great because we're not actually doing a sound here. So let's make a sound. Now, I'm not sure how to make that sound. I'm not actually sure. What is this? What is this sound? Too slow. I would love to have. Is that possible to? Wait a minute. There was like a. Let's check like this. And let's make the I would love to make the vibrato. What is it the vibrato? What is the arpeggio? Let's try to do the arpeggio. Maybe that works. So this is some crazy stuff, and I'm not exactly sure how this works. Wait, I thought. Oh yeah, it's 6. So 6 arpeggio, and so I can add the arpeggio to all of the notes. Let's see how this will feel. It's great, but it's not what we wanted, I think. You know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. Or maybe what if this every second note is slower? What if that's what's happening? Or like this? Not really happy. What if we make like a stair function like this? Not really happy with the start sound. We have to figure out something maybe with the start sound, and it's not what I was thinking of when I did this first. But maybe I have to ask a musician on what kind of. Of course, I want to like this kind of like starting sound, and I'm not sure how to program this. It should be like a note and then a higher note. Huh? Oh, that's maybe more like this. And then we're just gonna lower the volume level. Oops, I didn't want to lower the volume level that much. Then let's do like this effect on the which effect is it? It's 5. What if we continue this? And then remove some of the notes. No. No. That's too much. Oh wait, that's a wrong note here. That's fine enough. So this is note number 12. So if we press this, S and D, is it, or is it sound? No. Oh man, I have to look at. What was it? SFX. SFX 12. Ha. Maybe even a bit of a longer countdown, maybe even 80. Sounds good. So this is now the starting, and you know, again, this is the kind of like what I was talking about, like this looks way more alive, and we press something, cool things happen. You feel like you're actually beginning the game, not just like pressing and something happens. There's actually something happening here. Now, something that I want to do as well is, first, there should be like it would be nice if the screen faded out. That would be really nice. And another thing I want to also do is like when I lose the ball. That's okay. I want maybe this to also vibrate or pulse, or also if I finish the level to also have like the some kind of like pulsating. So I want to add more blinking to some of the other effects as well, and I want to add fading as well. But that's coming up in the next episode. I hope you'll join us next time around. See you next time. Bye bye.